Wow. Wow.
Wait, sorry. You have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It was so loud in here, Chris. I couldn't hear. I probably need to tone down my voice a little bit because it was so loud in here because that was one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen.
The Carolina Hurricanes, when you talk about cardiac canes, that is the definition of it.
Wow.
Pat, there's no way I thought with 10 minutes left in this game and the Canes down 2-0, they had enough to even score to win this game, right? Like, let alone to even maybe tie it to go to OT, but they did. In the last 10 minutes, they took the lead, but then they let it get tied up again. And then it goes to overtime, and look, we've said it before here, death, taxes, and the Carolina Hurricanes in overtime in the playoffs. Those are sure things. 6-0, and instead of a 2-3 finish, it is a 4-3 finish for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Incredible, because as loud as it was here in the final minutes of this game, the second half of the third period, and I mean it when I say it, that is the loudest I have ever heard it.
Absolutely.
And I was down close to ice level for it. This building was near silent in the second period because of Brett Howden. A guy that the New York Rangers basically traded away for a bag of donuts.
Sounds familiar.
My buddy, a New York Rangers fan, texted me that. He can't believe what he's seeing. This guy has 12 goals in the regular season, 13 in the playoffs, and nothing fluky about it. His first 2 goals in this game, absolutely dynamic plays, and it's so gutting because in this game, the Canes were playing their game.
Yes.
In the first period, they were by far the better team, and they kill off a penalty, and then the first goal was after like a nice series of possession.
Yes.
And then Mitch Marner basically clears it to Howden, who's able to score. And then in the second period, the goal to go up 2-0 is after killing off a penalty. He gets time and space going into the zone and has another spectacular goal. But the Canes, to their credit, and I was saying this to you, and I was saying this to other people in the press box, I'm like, if they could just stick to their game, I think they will win this because they were getting puck possession. They were doing what the Canes do. And they're certainly not dominating against this Vegas team. But the way they turned it on in the third period was a sight to behold. And for Seth Jarvis to get the winner with the Winnipeg boys in the house on a night where Rod switches the lines.
Yes.
Jarvis going down, Martinic going up. Now it's on the power play, so it doesn't necessarily have an effect on the individual play, but just for him to see the puck go in the net, for the power play to get 2 goals in this game are really exciting things going forward.
There's a lot to break down in this game, so let's just start from the beginning here. That first Brett Howden goal, if you look at the replay, I believe it was the first one. Look at the replay. I want to say it was William Carrier. It looked like they got a little tied up together. You go back and look at it slow down. Brett Howden is holding him off and holding his stick down.
It's like, it almost reminded me of a wide receiver.
Yes.
Like going into the end zone kind of a situation.
But it was one of those things where it's like, if the referees kind of look at it, that's probably a penalty on Howden. He's holding Carrier's stick down so he can release. I thought Carrier was holding him. And then you see he breaks away and then he gets it, and that's the goal right there. And it just felt like a backbreaker because at that point, that was their second shot on goal. The Canes were leading them 6-1 before that in shots on goal. This is maybe about halfway through the first period or something like that. It really was the Canes game, and just that one just felt like almost a backbreaker. Then you had the second goal that happened again, Brett Howden, second period, and it almost felt like the Lenovo Center kind of went dead.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And the fans just were barely into it. And then me and you were coming downstairs. I just want to be fully transparent. Let's break this fourth wall right here because we're standing over here in the corner. In my head, as we always do, we're writing what we feel like we're about to say on television.
And we had to rewrite it about 75 times in the next 10 minutes.
What was in my head was, man, the ills of 2023, 2024, 2025 are all showing up once again. When a team like the Vegas Golden Knights comes to town, the Carolina Hurricanes just cannot score. And boy, they proved me wrong in that last 10 minutes because Logan Stankoven was literally the little engine that could.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, he's what gets the party started for the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs. He scores the first goal. And then all of a sudden, you have Eric Robinson falling down, able to have enough wherewithal. Oh, Carrier, yes, I'm sorry. Enough to just get it over to Mark Jankowski, and Mark Jankowski scores to tie it
Your
up.
fourth line center with a spectacular goal, and Carrier just laying it all on the line. Like, to all the points you just made, it felt like watching this game,
Yes.
the ghost of the past, that the system was working, but the Canes didn't have enough
Yes.
skill. And
Yes.
I don't necessarily, honestly, I just think they willed themselves to a win, right?
Sure.
Like, the Stanko was behind the net, like the juice in the entire team just elevates.
Yes.
Carrier falling over, getting it to Jankowski, just the burst on the power plays, just the electricity in the team that just wasn't there for 2 periods. And we have a series again, because if you fall down 0-2 in the Stanley Cup, for all intents and purposes, you are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 teams have ever come back. You're going to Vegas, and maybe you could come back, but your margin for error is completely erased.
Super thin.
And now when you look at this step back from the series now, sure, the Canes lost game 1, but it wasn't for a matter of being outmatched. It was because they weren't buttoned up defensively.
Yes.
And in this game, that was not the issue.
Yes.
Like, all of Vegas's goals were either the product of a spectacular individual play from Brett Howden 2 times, or in the third period, the Mark Stone goal was just creating chaos in front of the net.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the product of, like, them being bigger, them being more skilled, or them being more talented. It's just hockey.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say through 2 games, I don't want to say, like, definitively the Canes are the better team, but it is
hard to say
even,
that, yeah.
like, it's 1-1 for a reason,
Yeah.
right? Like, this is anybody's series, and the Canes absolutely can win it.
I will say this. The Canes probably have done a better job at playing team hockey to score points or score goals. The Vegas Golden Knights have done a better job at making and creating individual plays, as
Yeah, I
you
think that's
mentioned
fair.
earlier,
Yeah.
to score their goals. If you take that away from their repertoire, they have a hard time scoring versus the Canes right now. Because, one, I mean, before you get to the third period, they didn't have as many shots on goal. Now they had a lot more, well, not a lot more. They had a few more in the third period, mainly because they were down from behind, so they had to go and try to do that. But just the way the Canes put this together, the gumption that they had, and just the will to say, like, we're not leaving Lenovo Center, flying out to the West Coast without having at least one win. I mean, you just could tell, like, it all came together. And I was also ready to talk about what we were saying before about breaking that fourth wall. We were going to talk about where was the top line again. And Seth Jarvis, even though he's moved down to the third line in his game, he's still a top line guy.
Yes.
From that. And he's the one, and on the power play, of course, but he's the one that scored the game-winning goal. So you have somebody from each of the lines scoring a goal from the Canes. So it's an even thing. Everybody stepped up. Everybody said we're going to come out here with a win. Everybody said Vegas is not going to punk us in our own home.
You just need to feel a little bit better about yourself. Like, it's easy for these top line guys to sit there and say, we believe in the process, X, Y, and Z, all the things they've been answering the entire postseason. But, like, I didn't play hockey, but I played baseball, right? And when you're in a slump, you could tell yourself those things, but once you get a hit, it could change everything. The ball looks different. And in hockey, I think it's the same thing. All of a sudden, that net looks a little bit bigger. And the way Seth Jarvis, I mean, what a way to get it, right? That wasn't a dirty goal. That wasn't a greasy goal. That was a highly skilled, one-time, top-shelf slap shot, an Alex Ovechkin style goal. And for 2 of them to come on the power play, just really positive things going forward. If there's a negative to me, I'm a little bit concerned about Freddie Anderson. This is 2 games now where he just hasn't given you those saves that you need to win a Stanley Cup, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, in the first game, a lot of them were high danger chances in the slot, but you got to stop at least one of those, Yeah. And in this one, like the second goal from Howden, like he gets he gets there and Freddie's just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
But like you just need, and then at the end of the game, like they create chaos. Now I say that. How about that save with a couple of minutes to go on the coach's challenge? Right?
5 minutes left. Yeah. He made the biggest save. I mean,
one of the biggest saves of the playoffs.
He reaches out, he lays out to the right, puck goes around the net, and then he reaches his stick out right here just in time to save it, and then puts his body on top of it to make sure it doesn't go in. And there's a coach's challenge from there. But like that, I mean, that's the save of the playoffs for sure for him.
Well, we could talk about this for 25 more minutes, but we've got a flight to catch.
Well, let me say something else about Freddie Anderson. I didn't know if you wanted to add something.
Yeah.
I'll say this. He's probably had one of the toughest weeks that he's had
That's
in a
fair.
long time.
Absolutely.
Right? His agent and a big time former player in the NHL, not Mario, but
Lemieux.
Claude Lemieux, died last week. That was his agent, and he responded versus Montreal with one of his best games ever. It was almost like it hadn't set in. And I'm not putting words in his mouth, but like sometimes if you just think about losing somebody, I've lost somebody. I don't know if you've lost somebody close to you. Like sometimes within the first couple of days, at least for me, it's almost like you can't believe it. Like the reality hasn't set in. So maybe for a player, you can go out there and play like nothing happened. And then now 5 days pass, 7 days have passed, and you play games on those days and you're thinking about this. A guy that probably would have texted you after the game, good job, man. Go get it. Let's win it. Let's do it. Isn't there to do that for you anymore. And to also hear the way that he left this earth, it might weigh on him just a little bit. The focus may not be there as much. I'm just theorizing here. We don't know any inside information. I don't know. I haven't talked to Freddie about this. This is not like the gospel. But I'm just kind of thinking about it from a human standpoint, why he may have had a step back, because he has had a step back the last 2 games.
Well, and the other side of it, which is maybe just more the hockey side of it, is he's played the totality of the playoffs. Now, the Hurricanes have gotten through the totality of the playoffs with almost the bare minimum amount of games played.
Yeah.
But, eventually that fatigue could be a factor.
Yeah.
And had the Canes fallen down 2 games to none in this series, maybe it's a conversation. It would probably need to get to 3-0, I would think, because at that point, you got to ride with the one that brought you. But these are conversations we don't need to have now because the Canes have tied this series. We are going to Vegas when I think the appropriate result, an even series. Like we've been saying, man, I'm not betting against black and red number 17 and Rod Brindamore in that locker room right now, baby.
Let's go to Vegas.
Here we go.
Cheers.
See you on the strip.